crazy opening weekend. It's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one left side caught by Gibson. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses. That gets him a point here and brings up 3rd down.
I know the speed is hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. And he's just going to be short here. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Hurts to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Quez Watkins, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Here comes Cohen. Just 34 yards on the punt there. No return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Handoff running left is Gibson. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Robinson will try to pick it up. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards here. They got halfway there.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
They'll run for it with Robinson. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Well, first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that and all Week 2 games as we go along. Now a play fake here on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles will take over here. So get up to the 43-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one. And the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells on there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. On the move past the 40. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays. And there's an example of that right there.
We're scoreless after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Trey Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Eagles had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Huff. They find some open field here. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Sam Reddick. The Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So his struggles just continuing here in the first half throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
98 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Huff, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a give, right side. And he's got some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
On 2nd down now. Huff, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, You're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he must be on the field at all times.
So not the greatest of first halves for him, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Throwing is Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now a handoff up the middle. Huff, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On 1st down, Huff, and give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Huff, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run on 1st down. Huff, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Up the middle they go. Huff. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. third down. Huff, and this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is nearly impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, we kind of sensed that one. He got a little too far forward before throwing, and that one will set them back.
And remember, the NFL level, being aware of where the line of scrimmage is crucial. And here's the other part. Any part of the quarterback's body that's near that line of scrimmage, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. So he was clearly over the line.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Here we go, set.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. And his throw here is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They go play action with Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. But he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Huff. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Kendall Fuller in on the stop. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Check, check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Huff 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on them.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The kick by Elliott is good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread the fingers behind the net to actually see the result.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. They'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. But with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. And you hate to say it, when a rookie quarterback, he's done some good things, but overall, looks a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. The offense on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Fourth down, Howell, desperation time. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avante Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
190 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play, because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On third down, Huff. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Huff. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. 2nd and 11. Now a give right side. Huff. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Up the middle, here's Sermon. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And that might just submit it. Return for a big touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. These losses stings and more. But everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
So flying Eagles fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Eagles, they make amends for their Week 1 loss.